Before migration begins, there is always a goodbye, a final embrace at the doorway, a mother trying not to hug, and a child too young to understand why someone must leave, and a migrant carrying a suitcase filled not only with belongings, but with fear, sacrifice, hope, and uncertainty.
For many people, migration is often imagined as opportunity, a chance for success, travel, or a better life. But behind every departure is a more painful reality. Migration begins when home can no longer provide what people need to survive. Today, we will invite you through this journey with us through two migration narratives separated by geography and history, yet deeply connected by human experience. The first is the open letter of Filipino migrants to Pope Francis, a collective appeal from overseas Filipino workers experiencing exploitation, family separation, and displacement. The second comes from the Polish peasant in Europe and America, a series of personal letters that reveal the emotional journey of a Polish migrant leaving home for America. Although these stories come from different times and culture, both reveal the same struggle, the struggle to survive in a new world without losing one's identity in the process. Our presentation explores this through the theme Migration, Assimilation, and Identity Preservation.
We will examine how migration unfolds through trajectories, the migrant's life's journey, and turning points, the moments that finally reshape relationship, identity, and love.
The Filipino migrants' letter begins with a painful reality. People are not living because they want adventure. They are living because they have no choice. The letter states, "Massive unemployment, landlessness, poverty and globalization have been forcing our countrymen to migrate. Behind these words are millions of untold stories. Parents missing birthdays, children growing up without mothers or fathers, and families learning to love each other through screens and phone calls. Migration becomes survival, but survival comes with a cost. The migrants describe their experiences abroad as modern-day slavery and speak of human and labor rights abuses. These are not only economic struggles, they are emotional wounds carried across borders, and perhaps the deepest wound is separation. The letter mourns the crisis of the separation of families, a crisis where distance slowly changes relationships, memories, and even identity itself.
The journey of Filipino migrants follows a painful trajectory. It begins with poverty at home, then moves toward overseas labor, exploitation, and emotional displacement. But within the journey and turning points that transform migrants forever. The first turning point is departure, the moment migrants leave behind everything familiar. The second is realization, abroad many discovered that the dream of a better life can also become exploitation and loneliness. And yet, another turning point emerges, resistance. The migrants refuse to remain invisible. Together they cry out, "Hope of the poor, fight with us." This line is powerful because it transforms migrants from silent workers into voices demanding dignity and justice. Even from home, Filipino migrants preserve identity through collective struggle, shared pain, and hope for recognition.
Now, let's travel to another migration story. One written not as public appeal, but as intimate family letters filled with longing. The Polish migrant leaves rural Poland for America, carrying not wealth, but emotion.
The mother writes, "My heart was burdened with sorrow, and when the moment of departure comes, he could not withhold tears. Migration here is deeply personal. Before leaving, the migrant seeks spiritual peace. The letter tells us that he made his peace with God."
Faith becomes something he carried with him across the ocean, a way to remain connected to who he was before migration. America promises opportunity, but threatens change. Family fears that distance will slowly erase culture, identity, and morality.
Polish migrants' trajectory moves from rural family life to adaptation in America, but every step forward creates emotional tension. One major turning point is becoming financially responsible.
The mother says, "I received the money for which I send you a hearty God reward." This simple sentence reveals transformation. The migrant is no longer simply a son, he becomes a provider, carrying the weight of family expectations across borders. Yet, adaptation also creates fear. The family hopes he stays among one's own people. This reveals anxiety about assimilation, the fear that migrants may survive economically but lose themselves culturally.
And so, like the Filipino migrants, the Polish migrant lives between two worlds, the homeland remembered and the foreign world demanding adaptation.
Although these stories come from different centuries, nations, and historical realities, they echo the same human truth. Migration changes. It changes the way families live, the way identity is preserved, and the way home is remembered across distance and time.
In the Filipino migrant's letter, migration is shaped by economic hardship and exploitation. Migrants speak of modern-day slavery and the painful reality of the tragedy of the separation of families. These phrases reveal that migration is not only physical labor abroad, but emotional sacrifice carried by entire families. Parents leave children behind, couples endure years of separation, love becomes dependent on phone calls, remittances, and memories. In the Polish letters, migration is quieter but equally painful. The mother writes, "My heart was burdened with sorrow," while the migrant himself could not withhold tears. Even before departure, migration already creates emotional loss, yet amid uncertainty, the migrant made his peace with God, showing how faith becomes a way to preserve identity in an unfamiliar world. Different words, different countries, different centuries, but the same human ache. Both narratives reveal that migration is not simply about crossing borders or searching for opportunity. It is about learning how to exist between absence and belonging, between the homeland that shaped you and the foreign world demanding adaptation. Migrants change in order to survive. They learn new languages, new systems, and new ways of living. But even while adapting, they continue carrying pieces of home within them. Their language, their faith, their culture, their memories, and the people they left behind. This is why migration becomes more than movement. It becomes a lifelong negotiation between assimilation and identity preservation. And perhaps that is the deepest reality these letters reveal. Even when migrants leave home physically, home never fully leaves them. It survives in letters sent across oceans, in prayers whispered before departure, in money sent home through sacrifice, in memories repeated to children born far away from the homeland, and in the quiet hope that one day, distance will no longer feel like loss.
Because for migrants, home is no longer only a place. It becomes a memory they carry, a language they protect, and an identity they refuse to forget.